What's going on, guys? Dwayne here with How to Build Credit TV, and I am back again. In this live stream, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to build credit in 2023. Now, this is a live stream, so if you're new to this channel, once again, my name is Dwayne, and on this channel, I talk about everything you need to know about credit cards, and how to make money using credit cards. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Happy New Year is in order because this is my first video this year in 2023. I hope that you guys are all doing well. I hope that you guys had an incredible day, an incredible time with your family during the holiday season. Of course, today is January the 16th, so happy MLK Day to people that care about that. Anyway, I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that the new year is off to an incredible start. I know that I am excited about being here and excited about doing this live stream. I haven't done a video in a while, so it's nice to be here. So once again, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, click that notification, give the video a thumbs up, all that good stuff that helps out the YouTube algorithm as well as this channel in this video. So yeah, like I said, I am insanely excited. It's 2023. This is always an interesting time for people at the beginning of the year because it's just, I guess, a decent time and a convenient time to kind of reset. So I decided that the first video that I wanted to create in 2023 was to basically talk a little bit about how to build credit in 2023, and more importantly, answer any questions that you guys may have because this is a live stream. All right, so once again, I hope you guys are all doing well. When it comes to building credit, obviously there's not anything new, at least as far as I'm concerned. You know, there's not anything new. There's still the 5 main categories that kind of make up your credit score, and understanding each of those categories will benefit your credit, and knowing how to tweak those categories and to your benefit will benefit your score. One of the things that I started to do was I was going to make a video, haven't done it yet, but gonna make a video talking about the fact that my credit score had dropped like 17 points or so. I don't know the details exactly because I haven't made the video and I'm still gonna make it, but my credit score dropped, and it's always interesting to kind of learn or relearn things that I know about credit. So if you're brand new to credit and this is your first video that you're watching in regards to that, welcome to this wonderful platform that is YouTube. There's countless information on here and people talking about credit, so you're in for a treat. As long as you're plugged into a community, whether it's the How to Build Credit TV community or someone else's channel, you're definitely going to find a wealth of information in regards to how to improve your credit and all that good stuff. And there's going to be tips and tricks and hacks and all the buzzwords that people like to use on YouTube. So welcome, welcome, welcome. When it comes to your credit, there are basically 5 main categories that are important and still important. If you're brand spanking new, as much as I don't like people to use Credit Karma because Credit Karma kind of makes you feel like your credit score is good, even though Credit Karma has a Vantage score, not your FICO score, Credit Karma is still a decent place and a decent tool to use. And the reason why I like to talk about it is the fact that it's free. Credit Karma markets to you, so you have to understand they're going to tell you, hey, the odds of getting this credit card is highly likely because once you apply and get that card, they're going to be making money. They're going to be getting a commission, or they're going to get something from recommending that card. So, of course, it's in their best interest to tell you that your odds of being approved for this particular card is high. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your score on Credit Karma, and remember, it is a Vantage score, not a FICO score. There's a huge difference. When you apply for loans and credit cards, that's going to be most of the times they're going to pull your FICO score. So Credit Karma score is not the same as your FICO score, but I like to mention it once again because it's free. Okay, so once again, 5 categories in regards to your credit score, and on Credit Karma, they basically have it broken down into 6 different categories. But there's really 5 main categories that the majority of us know, and it is payment history, which is 35% of your score, and then after that there is credit utilization, which is 30% of your score. And then after that there is jeepers, I'm having a, what's the next one after that? Oh man, we have payment history, credit utilization, oh, average age of credit. Like, I'm like, that's wild. Average age of credit, which is 15% of your score. And then, of course, there are new accounts, which is 10% of your score. And then there is hard inquiries, right? So there's like a types, not new accounts, but there's types of accounts, right? For example, there's a credit cards. That's one type of an account. There are loans. Then there's like mortgages or real estate loans. Those are different types of accounts, right? So that's 10%. And then of course, new accounts or hard inquiries is another 10%. So once again, quick reminder, payment history, 35%. Credit card utilization or credit utilization, 30%. Credit age, credit history, 15%. Okay. So we got 30, 35, 30, 15. Then we have types of credit, right? So we're talking like your car loan, home loan, credit card, student loans. Those are different types, okay? And then new accounts or hard inquiries. So there are 5 categories. On Credit Karma, there's one more category that they talk about. They talk about derogatory marks, okay? So the derogatory marks is not one that you see somewhere else. Like, you're not going to see derogatory marks on your FICO score, okay? But obviously a derogatory mark is exactly that. It's something that is not good, and it affects your score tremendously and in a huge way. So derogatory marks it can be any kind of account that you didn't pay, okay? For example, it could be a medical bill, okay? That has nothing to do with your credit, but if you don't pay your medical bills, it can and probably will most of the time end up on your credit. Child support history, child support payments, your cell phone that you didn't pay for, your light bill that you didn't pay for. Basically anything that you didn't pay for, even though it's not your credit, right? Even though it's not a credit type of payment or a personal loan or a car loan or mortgage, it's still going to end up on your credit report. And so it ends up on your credit report as a derogatory mark. So the derogatory marks and the hard inquiries, they're not all created equally, okay? A derogatory mark, let's say you had 5 of them, okay? If one falls off and your score goes up 25 points, you cannot expect that the other 4, when they fall off, your score is going to go up 25 points for the next one and 25 points for the next one. That's not how that works. And the same thing is true for hard inquiries, okay? Once again, if a hard inquiry falls off and your score goes up 12 points and you have 5 hard inquiries, you cannot expect your score to go up 12 points every single time a hard inquiry falls off. So I don't know why it's like that, but that's one of the things that, like, sometimes we have a hard time kind of wrapping our brains around. So when it comes to your score, those 5 categories, 6 with the derogatory, those 5 categories make up our credit score. Okay, so the payment history, which simply just means are you paying your accounts on time? We really need that to be 100%. If it's not, there's really not a whole lot we can do to expedite it to get to 100%. Let's say it's at 96%. Which normally 96% is pretty good. You know, in order to get it from 96 to 100, it may take years. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when something negative is reported on your credit, it could take 7 years. Let's say I was late for a payment with American Express and the account's closed. Or let's say the account's still open, but I was late for a payment. And I was late for the payment and I didn't make a payment and it ended up being like 90 days or 180 days late per se, right? That's going to get reported, and now my payment history is going to go from 100% to whatever, 90 something percent. Well, that may stay on my credit report for 7 years. So let's say it went from 100% down to 98%. It may take 7 years to get from 98% back to 100. And it's not a big deal in the sense that you can't do anything about it, so there's no reason to kind of cry about it. Like, it's just what it is. I think one of the things that I was very fortunate for myself back in the day, back in 2013 or before 2013, when I jacked up my credit for like the 3rd time, 2nd time maybe, my credit was messed up. And one of the gifts that I had was, what most men have, this is a stereotype, we procrastinate or we don't care and we don't stress about certain things. So for me, it was the art of not really caring and not giving a F, because the reality is I couldn't do anything about it anyway. So it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need to worry about something that's past. Very much like life. It's just to worry about the past is kind of a waste of energy, but we still do it. Okay. So I mean, that's it. All I can do in that moment is from where I am now. And so the same thing applies when it comes to your credit. You can only move from where you are now forward. You really can't go back and fix things from the past per se. And this is very interesting because a lot of people have spent lots of money trying to fix stuff and remove stuff. And you know what? Some of that stuff may work. And I get it if you're in a hurry to get your credit, score boost like last month. I get it, right? Of course, you're going to spend money if you have the money because you don't have the time to wait, to fix it, right? But if you do have the time to wait, and that's the beauty in life, is that with time, all things can change and all things can be better. And you just have to be patient and you have to be deliberate and you have to educate yourself. And so that's one of the cool things about this platform that is YouTube and this community, the How to Build Credit TV community. Once again, if you guys are plugged into YouTube, there's so many people on here talking about credit. I couldn't even tell you how many different people have channels on here talking about credit. Like I don't even look at people's videos anymore on YouTube in regards to credit. I mean, I just know that it seems like anytime I, ever look at anybody's channel, like I'll be checking in on Points Blank Travel or checking in on Credit Card Maestro, whoever's channel I'm checking in on, and then I'll see these other random people pop up and I'm like, damn, like when did this guy start talking about, like there's just so many people on here. So it's good for you guys. It's good for you guys to get to have your questions answered. And it's very, very good. It's incredible when you're doing research about something because it's always good to have someone else's perspective. That's one of the great things about life and the great things about, there's more than one way to get from A to Z. You know what I mean? Now, of course, we all want to take the straightest path, which, kind of make the most sense. But life doesn't work that way. Life's not always a straight path. You got tangents, you get to Z, you get to X, you get to, you're all over the place before you get to kind of where you need to get to. But like I said, that's very much life. So in regards to how to build your credit in 2023, if you're starting off brand new, the easiest thing to do is to, of course, when you get your credit card or whatever kind of account that you may have, you want to pay all your bills on time. And when I say bills, I mean bills. I'm not only talking about credit card, because once again, if you're late on a phone bill or you don't pay a phone bill, that's going to be reported on your credit and it's going to affect your score negatively in a huge way, right? And that just absolutely sucks. So anything you have to make a payment on monthly, you want to make sure you pay. It's always interesting to me because we have one of the greatest devices ever, our cell phones, right? Like this is a walking organizer. I remember back in high school when they used to give us a physical book organizer and like we had an agenda, right? It's like a book and they were like, we want you guys to bring it to every class and we're going to grade you guys on this. We're going to give you a participation grade because we want you to use these agendas, right? Because everybody had it. Everybody in the school had it, right? And so, yeah, your cell phone, one of the greatest tools. You have the calendar. You click on the calendar app and you can, set it. You can set your calendar to remind you every single day. You can set it to remind you every week. You can set it to remind you every month. You can set it to remind you every year. So from that perspective, you know what I mean? Like you got all the tools that you need. You have the most convenient thing in the world, your cell phone. You can set reminders. There's no reason to not pay any bill on time. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do. Make sure you pay all your bills on time, not just your credit cards, all your bills, period. Okay, anything that you're going to be paying monthly, anything you're going to be paying ever, just always pay it on time. Okay, that's the easiest thing to do. And I get it. We're humans. We may forget, but once again, we're walking around with one of the greatest devices ever. We don't even use, more than 25% of this thing's capacity. You know what I'm saying? There's so many features on our phones, it's ridiculous. So definitely the calendar is one of the simple things that you can access on your phone, and it can be one of the most powerful things. Another thing that you can use on your phone is the notes pad. I can't tell you, the notebook on my phone saves me a lot. I'm just like, yo, it's like if I want to remember something, all right, I'll just slap it in my notes. Like, boom. It's there. All the notes since God knows when is there. I probably have notes in my phone from 2008, right? And this is an iPhone 12G Pro Max. So this iPhone is 2 years old, I guess coming up on 3 years now, right? 2023 is going to be 3 years. But I have messages in this phone from like 2008, 2009. So use what you have, okay? So paying on time. Now, credit card utilization, and this one is huge, okay? This is one of the ones where there's a lot of stupid information out there, and it really upsets me because I don't understand. Even on credible sites talking about your credit score, they're like, oh, you want to keep your utilization around 30%. I'm like, that's so stupid, because keeping it at 30% is going to guarantee that your credit score is not as high as possible. You have to keep your utilization as low as possible, which is 0 to 9%. Now, when I say keep it as low as possible, I'm not saying freak out about it. I just want you to understand how it works. Okay, so credit card utilization works in a lot of different ways. Now, it's the overall umbrella. So if you have 5 cards, yes, they're talking about the utilization for all 5 cards, but also the utilization of one single card is going to affect your score. For example, let's say you had a credit card with a $500 limit on it. Okay, you got 5 credit cards and you have one with a $500 limit, and for whatever reason you decide, yo, I'm gonna buy something that's $250 on my credit card that has a $500 limit because maybe it's time to use that card, whatever. Okay, so now you're using 50% utilization of that one card, even though you still have those other 4 cards, and the utilization is really based on all of the cards. The utilization is also based on every single card. So the fact that you're using 50% of that one card is going to lower your score tremendously, okay? And this is something that I learned maybe 2 years ago, year and a half ago. Not something that I necessarily knew. I probably learned it here in the community. Somebody mentioned it in the chat, but I especially learned it once I experienced it, when I used my card, and it's like, yo, even right now, my score, I mentioned earlier in the video, my score dropped like 17 points. My FICO score was like 800 and change, and it has dropped back into the 700s because of credit card utilization of one single card. One single card, and my score dropped a lot of points. And so the beauty is I know that. So that's the thing. When I say, like, you guys need to educate yourself, right? Like, you have Credit Karma, not the real FICO score, because it's not a FICO score, but the tools that Credit Karma provides, those 5 different categories plus the derogatory mark, which I mentioned earlier in the video, you can absolutely use that. Absolutely use that. And so that's the thing is, if you don't believe me, you don't believe this utilization thing, you know, try it. Pay attention, like, when you use your credit card, and let's say you're using 50% of whatever the credit limit is on one card, your score is going to be lower than if you were using 5%. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's definitely something you need to know. Now, the next category, the 15%, is going to be your credit history, or your average age of credit. There is not really a quick fix in regards to that. Basically, if you do it right, and if you're lucky, you know, let's say you get a credit card in college. So let's say you're 18, 19, you have your first credit card, okay? And let's say you just keep that card open forever. By the time you're 29, obviously you're going to have 10 years worth of credit history just from that one card. So your overall average age of credit is going to always be changing if you're always applying for more credit, okay? Or if you're always applying for loans. So let's say my average age is 5 years, and then, okay, this year I go on a credit card spree and I'm applying for credit cards left and right. Now, of course, if my average age is 5 years and I apply for a new card, it's not going to drop it from 5 years to 2 years, but it's going to drop it from 5 years to maybe like 4 years and 7 months, right? It'll keep lowering your average age every time you apply for cards. Your average age also can be affected if you close your oldest card or your oldest thing that's reporting your monthly payments on your credit score. For example, I have student loans. Whenever those student loans get off of my score, my credit report, I'm gonna be losing a huge chunk of my payment history. And of course, that's gonna affect me negatively. Let's say I paid off my student loans today, right? My average age right now is like 4 years, 10 months, 4 years, 9 months, depending on the credit bureau. And of course, that's going to affect my credit score quite a bit if I got rid of my student loans. Now, all of a sudden, I have lost, this thing that has been reporting payments or the start of payments, which is back like 2003. I think is probably when there's payments in regards to student loans. So I'd be losing that, and that's not a good thing. Okay, so that's something to keep into consideration. Now, of course, the next category, which is 10% of your score again, is the different types of credit, like a car payment or a car loan versus a credit card versus a home loan. Those are different types of payment accounts. Now, is it important enough for us to stress out and say, okay, I got to have a credit card payment, I got to have a car loan payment, and I got to have a mortgage payment because I need different types of credit or different types of payment? No, it's not something you need to freak out about. Like, absolutely not. That 10%, which 10% out of 850 is 85 points, that's not going to kill your score. You can easily get an 800 credit score without worrying about that 10%. Because like it's not like if you don't achieve your credit card and your car loan and your home loan, the 85 points, all of a sudden you're going to get 0 out of the 85 points. It doesn't work like that, right? You'll still have your whatever you're going to get from having car loans, whatever you're going to get from having credit card payments, right? So you'll still be getting at least half of the 85 points, okay? So you don't need to be perfect in that category to have a credit score above 800, okay? And then the last one would be new accounts or hard inquiries, okay? And that's another 10%, which is another 85 points out of 850 points, okay? So hard inquiries would be when you apply for things such as when you apply for a car loan, when you apply for a credit card, when you apply for a mortgage, when you do anything that has your credit being pulled, it's going to go into the hard inquiries or new accounts category. And the crazy thing is, like, it can go into the hard inquiry or new accounts category even if you're not approved. And that's the thing that sucks, is like you apply for a card and now you have a hard inquiry. You didn't get approved for the card and now you have a hard inquiry, and that hard inquiry is going to fall off. Speaking of hard inquiries falling off, I have a hard inquiry that's going to fall off in January, I think January 23rd. And then I have another hard inquiry that will fall off March 25th. After those two inquiries fall off of my credit, I will have 0 inquiries. And the last time I had 0 inquiries was probably back in 2017, before I started the channel. So it'll be interesting. I had a great experience the last time I had 0 inquiries. I think back in 2018, maybe I had like 1. And then I went ham in 2018 and I applied for American Express, I applied for Discover, I applied for US Bank, I applied for Citibank, I applied for Bank of America. I think I got it's like 5 to 7 cards from August to October in 2018. Like, I went ham, and it was really cool. And of course I made videos, so those videos are on my channel somewhere. But yeah, it's pretty neat for sure. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into the comment section. I appreciate you guys. I see we have 34 viewers watching, 20 thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for smashing the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you guys jumping back on here. I know I haven't been on here in a minute, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? As long as my voice works, I will always be on YouTube. Like, that's just what it is. Now, I may not be on here every day because that's not how my life is set up, but as long as my voice works, I can always share my experience, and I can always affect people in a positive way. One of the things that's actually super interesting about me and this channel, and not even me and the channel, but just me in life, like, I don't take time to smell roses, and I don't really pay attention like, oh, I'm affecting so many people and I've changed so many lives. Like, I don't even think like that in regards to this platform and the people that have been exposed to any videos that I've ever posted. And certainly if you've ever tried some of the things I talked about and achieved success, I don't even really think about that. Like, yeah, it's great that I'm able to do that, but I selfishly started this channel in the sense that I was like, you know what? I have something to say about credit. I'm going to share my experience, and I think it's kind of cool to document this, and I think somebody may benefit from it. So it's been an interesting time, to say the least. All right, I'm going to jump into the comment section, and say what up to you guys. Uh, Give me a second here. This is wild, man. I'm getting old, to say the least. I'm saying that because I'm texting my daughter back, and she's gonna be 19 next month. My son will be 21 this year. She's gonna be 19 next month. So definitely interesting. All right, cool. All right, jumping into the chat here, seeing who's in the building. Appreciate you guys so much. We got my boy Smash Murder in the house. He says, "What's good, D?" Yes, sir. I'm here, my man. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's a pleasure to have you in the building, per usual. Give me a second here. Bro, what's going on here? I need you to do what I need you to do. Give me a second, you guys. All right, cool. All right, jumping back into the chats, the chizats. We got Cinemadness, who's a channel member. What's going on, my man? Thanks for stopping by. He says Dwayne is back again. He says we back with the Monday night live streams. Yeah, I mean it's definitely been a minute. Like there's been a lot going on in my life. I mean I mentioned a little bit about it last time, and I'm not gonna get into great detail. Let me turn this camera around here so I can see myself. Yeah, there's been a lot going on, to say the least. But all in all is well. You know what I'm saying? Life is good. Life is always good. And that's how I'm going to frame it. That's how I'm going to choose to see it. So therefore, that's how it is. Ulysses is also a channel member. He says, "Hello, Dwayne. How you doing this evening? Happy New Year. Welcome back." Yes, sir. I'm great, man. I'm great. Living the dream. Smash Murder says, "From nothing to something. Thanks for all the guidance. On to my second house, and credit score is 800. From the low 500s. I took off once I found your channel. Much love." Hey, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for taking the time to say that. I appreciate that. More importantly, thanks for doing the work. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you how much, as a human being, we're exposed to information, and that's kind of where it stops. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'd be like, "Yo, I know I need to do X, Y, Z," and then we don't like follow through. So congratulations for you, for taking action. You know what I'm saying? That is huge. So thank you so much for sharing that with everybody in the building. Andretti, what's going on? My man says, "Is Navy Federal accurate for my credit score?" Navy Federal has their own scoring model. I don't remember what it is. I want to say it's FICO 9, but I don't know. Let me log into my Navy Federal account and I'll check my score. Um, and then I'll tell you which FICO score it is. So that's a tricky one. Credit score dashboard. I'm in my Navy Federal account. I'm in the app right now, logging in. Let's see. Oh, it's a Vantage score. So it's a Vantage score. I'm in my Navy Federal. It's a Vantage score, and they have my credit score based on Christmas. The last date was on here was Christmas. Oh man, this is very interesting. Oh, okay, they have my like balances across my account. I'll show you guys here. Give me a second. I was like, $53,000. Where are they getting that from? So you see, my score according to Navy Fed is 790. I don't know. There we go. And the last time it says as of December 25th, 2022. Next available update February the 5th, 2023. So it talks about payment history. Of course, it's like extremely high impact. Okay, zero late payments, and of course they're talking about credit card usage 2% and age of credit. I like this, 19 years and 4 months, which that's not accurate. That's probably because my student loans is in there. Then it says balances across all account 53,000. I was like, what? The 53,000 has to do with my student loans is in there as well. Then it says available credit 213,000. Which, of course, that's going to be different. That information is always kind of different. But that is a Vantage score in the Navy Federal app. So I don't know. This is definitely In regards to like if you apply for something with Navy Federal though, and they give you a FICO score, it's different. So I don't know. The app is saying it's a Vantage score, which I never really use that, but there it is. It's a Vantage score. Points Blank Travel. What's going on, my brother? Rod has his own channel. Be sure to go to Rod's channel. Points Blank Travel, Points Blank Finance, Points Blank Experience. Man, he has a gangload of channels, so be sure to go there and support him and subscribe to his channel as well. Oh man, give me a second. By the way, Points Blank Travel is a channel member as well. Give me a second, guys. Let me sip on this water here. Let me get a little sip. We got Mr. Dino in the building, or Dino. Says, hey, Dwayne, long time no see. Good to see you once again, bro. Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to be in the building. You know, I'm not going to lie. It's really, really cool to be here and to be on this platform. I think one of the things that I find interesting is, like, I always hear people talk about, like, man, I don't care what people think. I don't this and that. And, you know, it's all about me. And I'm always like, for real, you don't care what people think? Because I haven't quite gotten to that point. But I tell you, I think the more you live and the older you get, and of course your life experiences as well, I'm a lot closer to that place than I've ever been. And it's definitely freeing, you know. I kind of envy the people that really feel that way. Like, I don't give a F about what people think about me. I envy those people that really feel that way very early in life. Because, you know, I'm 44 and I'm just like, I'm just kind of getting to that point. It's like when somebody's older, you know, like older people, like, yo, they do whatever the F they want. Because, like, they really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not living for anybody else at that point, you know, and they've already been through a lot of different things. So, anyway. We got Arno in the building. What's going on, Arno? Arno is in the building. He says, what's up? How to Build Credit TV. Yes, my brother, I'm doing insanely well, man. It's good to have you in the building, bro. As usual. Cinemadness says, okay, guys, I'm super excited. You guys update on my ATM business. Been wanting to share this since mid-December. Well, guys, only took 1 month and 1 week after delivery of my machine for it to happen. My mother found out about one of her former bosses owns a premier nightclub and event venue in Las Vegas, California, with a full bar, food, and live entertainment. She told him about my ATM business. After she told him, he said he'll consider my ATM, so I needed to temper my expectations because he said consider my my machine well. I spoke with the owner at the venue and he said yes. What makes the deal even sweeter is that he said he wants a permanent placement from me at the venue. Man, that's freaking cool, dude. That's great. He says he's known me for since I was in middle school, and he's a big supporter of entrepreneurs, and said he'll contact me with other similar businesses. Keep in mind, this is only my first ATM location, dude. That is incredible. It says, I was also talking with the owner of 77 Lounge, and he said they buy ad space on KJLH radio where millions listen weekly, and celebrities in LA perform. They do bridal showers and baby showers. My machine only holds 1,000 notes or 20,000, but he said on any given day there's 100 to 500 people per event. I don't know how long 20,000 will last before I need to refill. I'm going to do the installation ATM tomorrow. Bro, that is crazy. What makes this even crazier was Tony, the owner, said in the past, previously, people talked him into moving the tables out of the way to put a stripper pole in the center. That's hilarious. He was also saying, apparently, I beat out other ATM owners that have previously approached him about installing their machines, but I guess since he's known me so long, he's more trusting of me. It is also super interesting because 12 months ago in January 22, I stumbled upon real estate trappers videos on how anyone can own and operate ATMs here, and I am a year later installing my first machine. Now that's incredible, man. I appreciate you taking the time to share that, and congratulations to you. That is huge, man. As far as I'm concerned, you're my hero. You're my idol. You know, for you to be hustling and doing what you're doing as aggressively as you are doing it at such a young age, that's incredible. I mean, I'm excited for you because when you're my age, you're going to be sitting pretty. So you're making big moves. Congratulations, and thank you for sharing it with your How to Build Credit TV family. We got Chris G says, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while on YouTube. You look a little slim. You trying to lose weight? You look great. I'm done with the losing of weight, and I appreciate the kind words as far as looking good. I mean, I definitely, I'm so grateful. I'm so much more healthy, and the fact that I'm this healthy at 44 is a testament to the fact that the small things are the big things. The small steps add up to the big steps. The small steps are equal and congruent to the big steps. So it's kind of interesting when people say don't sweat the details, but the details is what we do need to sweat, you know, or the small things is what we do need to sweat. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share a picture with you guys. I was looking at this last night. I mean, and this is, shoot, I don't have to go that far back, but let me see if I can find a picture where I'm presentable or I'm riding solo, you know. Give me a second here. Yeah, but I'm good. I'm very happy with myself, and you know, kind of from where I've come. I want to show a picture where I look bad. Well, this one's not. I don't look too bad in this picture, but I'm gonna show this picture nevertheless. Okay, and this picture is from February 2022. This is from February, right? Like almost a year ago now, right? But in my mind, I'm still in 22, even though it's 23. But this is from February 2022. Look at this picture. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a huge difference in this picture than what's on the screen right now. I'll even give you guys a picture that's worse. Give me a second. Let me find a worse picture. Let me jump back to 2020. Look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is cool. I actually went to this is me and my son hanging out for his birthday. Look at this. Look at this butterball. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. It's all good. You know what I mean? It's incredible. Like, I don't know how much I weighed in this picture, but like, look how wide my head was. You know what I'm saying? Look at your boy now. So it's awesome. I mean, you know, my journey is a testament to the fact that, once again, the small steps are the big steps. You know, and the reason why I say it that way is because small things compound. Just like, obviously, you know, big things compound, but what I do daily adds up over time. You know, so it's very cool, and it's just really good. I'm really grateful for where I am in life because no matter what happens in my life from here on out, I'm always going to be good, and I'm always going to be positive, and I'm always going to choose to see the positive. I'm always going to choose to see the glasses half full, because life is incredible, and every single day I wake up, it's incredible. I mean, straight up, it's very interesting to me. I was in Jamaica in December with my dad. My grandma was there, and we did a little celebration for her 97th birthday, and actually everybody in the room, all her kids that were there, not all her kids were there. She has 12 kids, well, 11 now. But everybody in the room said something. And of course I was like, yo, when it gets to me, like, it's going to be a trip, because, you know, I get emotional when it comes to grandma. And I'm like, so I'm talking, I'm like, man, please don't cry. Don't do it. You know, just hold it in, you know. But yeah, we were in Jamaica in December, and one of my aunt, her husband, his sister was there. And she's in her 60s, and it was really interesting. She said to me, she said, you know what's crazy is we obviously don't control if our eyes open or not in the morning. Like, we don't, you know? It's not like you go to sleep and you're aware of every single thing that's going on while you're sleeping. You may not even be aware of anything that's going on while you're sleeping. And you're definitely not saying, I'm going to control my body and I'm going to control if my eyes open up tomorrow morning. The reality is, every single day is a microcosm of life. Every single day. Every single day is like a birth and a death. Every single day. The birth, the fact that we open our eyes, which once again, we don't control. We don't control if we open our eyes, right? But from the moment we open our eyes, we choose everything that kind of happens throughout the day. Of course, the things that we can control. And then in the evening again, you go to sleep. So it's like a birth and a death every day. So it's like every day is literally a microcosm of life. Every single day. And that's just like, that's mind-boggling to me. Every day is a brand new page in a book. Every day can be a brand new story. Every day can be a different story. It doesn't necessarily have to be a continuation. It could be, now in this chapter, we're going to talk about C. We're not going to talk about A and B. Now this chapter is going to talk about C. And I don't know if you know, but a chapter in a book, even though it's in the same book, can be something totally different. A totally different subject matter. And that's the beauty in life. Every single day that we wake up is not a continuation of yesterday, and it's not a continuation of last month, and it's not a continuation of last year, and it's not a continuation of the last 5 years. But that's the way we choose to see it if we want to see it that way. But the reality is, we are the creators. You are a creator. You don't have your YouTube channel, but you are a creator. You know what I'm saying? You're not a recognized author, but you are a writer. You are the main character in your life, and that's mind-boggling. So why not choose happiness? Why not choose to see things as positive? You know what I mean? Anyway, sorry. That's Chris G's fault. You know what I mean? Got me on that tangent, talking about I'm looking good. Don't tell me that. I was driving Uber today, and I was talking to one of the riders in the car, and I was like, man, you know, God knew what he was doing. You know what I mean? I don't know what we were talking about, but I was just being funny, and I was like, you know, God can't give me all the talents. You know, imagine if I could dance. Imagine if I could do this and I can do that. Man, come on. My head's going to be, you know what I mean? And I already have a big head, so it's like I don't need a bigger head. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's wild. Darnell, what's going on, my man? What's going on? Darnell says, hey, yes, sir. Points Blank says, please hit that thumbs up button. Hey, man, Rod, I saw your video the other day. You did a quick live about the People's Champ. And I meant to ask you what that was about. I meant to text you because I don't even know. But congratulations, man. That is freaking dope. Let's see here. Diamond, what is going on? Happy New Year to you, ma'am. Thanks for stopping by. Diamond says, hey, Dwayne and Credit Fam. I've had so much going on with being able to get a new credit card accounts. Sweet. That's awesome. So much, I guess you mean going on. Miss Gatlin, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by. Hey. She says, hello, Dwayne. I'm glad that you made it back safely. Absolutely. Always. It's all gravy. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to see you. Let me see here. We got Spaz in the building, says, what's good, sir? Happy New Year. Stay refreshed. Oh, man, always. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely interesting. This is probably one of the first New Year's where I wasn't, like, super duper hyper focused on, like, you know, what resolutions or whatever goals or promises I want for the new year. I think one of the only things that I'm really kind of conscious of in regards to the new year is, like, my finances. And it's like, okay, what am I going to do with my money this year? You know, how am I going to save? One of the things that I've been inspired to do is to be more aware of where I'm spending my money and what I'm doing with my money. I don't splurge anyway, but at the same time, I can be more diligent. So like I'm just a little more hyper focused. Super duper hype that like the health thing, man. Listen, on the health tip, can't tell me nothing. Like, your boy's not out here trying to get buff or nothing like that. Like I don't lift weights, nothing like that. I mean, I wish I could, but every time I lift weights, I just want to eat everything, and it's just kind of, it just doesn't work. I haven't found the balance in regards to that yet. I am curious to kind of experiment, with like what kind of foods I'm eating and, proteins and fats and carbs, that type of thing. But I haven't put on my lab coat yet, to figure that out in detail. But I am kind of curious. I think one of the things that's pretty neat about when it comes to weight loss or when it comes to just our bodies in general, just paying attention. It's incredible how quickly I notice things that I eat and what my body does as a result of that. Like if I eat ice cream and cookies, or if I eat a bunch of salt, like I notice the next day that like my face is more swollen, or my body's more swollen based on the things that I put in my body. So that's always kind of interesting to me. And of course, like I'm a man, so I'm lucky. For all the women out there, I know it's a little different for you guys, but like for me, I can see results like instantly. You know what I'm saying? Like I go in the gym and I lift some weights, which I don't do often. It's kind of neat, right? Like we see, we like, oh man, look at this chest. I didn't know this chest was here. You know what I'm saying? Or if I go and hit cardio for a couple of hours, I come back out and my face is like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, my head got smaller. Like I'm slim. You know what I mean? Like it's very interesting and super motivating as far as I'm concerned. We got Mimi in the building. Says, hey, Dwayne, good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. I know it's been a minute since you've been in the live stream, and I know it's been a minute since I've done live stream. So thank you so much for stopping by and wishing Happy New Year. Appreciate you. We got my boy John in the house. What's going on, John? Haven't seen you in a while, my brother. Miss Gatlin say you still look good. Well, you're seeing me now. You know what I mean? I mean, thank you, and I feel great. Like I can't even explain how good I feel. Like I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to work out. All right, I'm working out. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna hit the gym. Basically at least 5 days out the week, even when I don't want to. Even when I don't want to, and I'm like, yo, I don't want to, but I'm like, all right, let's just go in the gym. No expectation today. Don't go hard. Let's just go slow. Warm up your body, and before you know it, 10, 12 minutes in, I'm like, huh? You know what I mean? Because it's very much like a lot of things in life, even when we don't feel like it. But when you start slow and when you give your body a chance to warm up, and it's the thing, it's weird, like the things that we don't want to do and the things that scare us the most are exactly the things that we need to be doing. Most of the time, right? With a grain of salt. But most of the times, right? It's like, I don't want to fail. Why? Because failing means that doesn't work. Failing means, okay, I learned something. Well, hopefully if you're paying attention, you learn something, right? And then you just move on. Like all the L's are lessons. All the failures are things that don't work, right? Okay, you keep it moving. What happens when you fail? You crawl in the hole and you say, oh, I'm in a dark place. I'm never going to try anything ever again. Well, that's silly. Because who that is successful hasn't failed. Nobody lives a perfect life and a life where you don't have scratches and bruises and conflict. You know what I mean? Like that's just not. I don't know who lives that type of life, but not very likely. RLG222 says, man, I wish I had your enthusiasm and positive energy. Trust me, it is not something that happened overnight. I'm a thinker. I'm a philosophizer. I've always kind of nerded it out in regards to like hearing things and thinking, oh, that's kind of neat, and like writing it down or wanting to remember it. The reason why I'm so awesome and positive now is just because I choose to pour good into my body. Like I choose to listen to things that make my mindset positive. And so like in a way, what I pour into myself is going to be what I exhibit. So I pour positivity, I pour light, I pour things that are motivating, I pour things that tell me attack it. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. And so as a result of that, that's how I that's how I see things now. You know, like there's not a lot of things that I'm fearful of, okay, right now. Of course, there's a lot of things that can happen that's going to be devastating and that could hurt me, but at the same time, I've already been in a really dark place in the past. I don't think it's possible to be there again. And more importantly, when I was there, I didn't have the tools that I now have. The tools that I now have, it's like when you're in a dark place, don't choose to only see the darkness. You got to turn on the light. You got to open the blinds. You got to listen to positive things. You got to listen to things that lift you up. You got to listen to things that are going to feed your mind and your mindset. You don't wallow in the darkness and listen to dark things and keep the room dark. Like it's silly. But at the same time, in that moment, you can't see that. So, yeah. The Island Tick says, man, you lost weight. Congrats. Thanks, the Island Tick. Appreciate you. We got Anthony Ortiz in the building. Says, hey, Dwayne. Hope all is well. You're looking amazing. Keep up the great work, my brother. Yes, sir. It's a pleasure to have you back in the building, bro. You know, yeah, I definitely have put in some hours. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful. I can't complain. Diamond says, I got the PayPal and Apple Card. I got the Sam's MasterCard today, too. I'm on my way. Yeah, you are, Diamond. Congratulations. That is freaking awesome. That's what I'm talking about. I definitely have a couple of accounts that I've been thinking about signing up for, like different types of checking account that have like, you know, sign up bonuses and stuff like that. So Diamond, that's awesome. Congratulations to you, girl. As a matter of fact, I'm going to hit the horn for Diamond and my brother Cinna Madness with the ATM business. You know what I mean? No, that's awesome. I mean, it'll be interesting to kind of see what kind of cards I go for. It's definitely been interesting sitting still and not applying for stuff because, yeah, you know, it's not the easiest thing, especially when you have a channel, right? We got Trey in the house. He says, yo, what's up, y'all? What's going on, Trey? Thanks for stopping by. It's a pleasure to see you. Definitely haven't seen your profile name before, so I appreciate you stopping by if you're brand new to the channel. Anthony says, what have you changed on your diet? I've minimized the sodium, no processed food, sugar, and stay hydrated, walking 2 or 3 miles a day, and lost 65 pounds in 2022. First of all, congratulations to you. 65 pounds is huge. Huge. For me personally, one of the main things that I've done was just the fact that I value every single day. And I try to be proactive every day in regards to moving, right? So obviously, I'm not in a place right now to be aggressive about like, oh, I need to lose weight. Like, I'm good. Like, I really don't need to be smaller, to be honest. A lot of people see me now and are like, yo, you tripping, bro. You too small. So for me, there's not a lot of things that I limit myself to, right? Like, I'm aware of my sodium intake because I have high blood pressure, but that doesn't necessarily stop me from eating salty stuff because I eat my salty things and I eat my sweet things. Like, trust me, I love sweets. I was the type of dude that goes to the store, you know, they close at 12 or 11 and I'm in there at 10:45 if they close at 11. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that dude getting ice cream and cookies. So I definitely, you know, I still have those vices per se, but I obviously partake in that less. One of the things I used to do in the past, I used to always spin my wheels. Like, I'd be good for going to the gym and doing 2 hours of cardio. You know, of course, everybody's is a guru. Everybody will tell you, oh, it's not good for you. Oh, you're gonna blah, 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 whatever. Never cared, right? So I used to be good for that. I would spin my wheels all the time. You know, I'd work out hard, I'd eat hard. And of course, you can't really have results, so something has to give, right? For me, it's easy to work out. One of the things that I think a lot of people don't put a lot of thought into is the fact that you don't have to do cardio all day. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't have to do intense cardio. Like you said, you walk 2 to 3 miles a day. Perfect. Like, walking, walking is, when I tell you walking is my best friend, walking is something that has been really, really good to me. I'm gonna share with you guys. I'm gonna share. I'm talking about walking. Look at this. Y'all gonna lose it. Walking. This is in my phone. Walking. You see at the top 12, 13, 2, 9, 16, 9, 8, 10, 14. We even got an 18 in here. Here we go. 14, 7, 7, 8, 18. 18. That's the most I've ever walked. But the reason why I showed that is walking is simple, right? And the beauty of it is walking is comprised of just steps. The same small steps that I talked about in the beginning earlier in the video. The small things are the big things. If I don't take those steps, I don't get to 10 miles. I don't get to 14 miles. I don't get to 16 miles. I don't get to 18 miles. And that's the beauty. And that same thing is true for life. We got to take the small steps. And you have to value every single day. You have to value every single day. Once again, we don't control if our eyes open. Can you believe some people are so arrogant? Like, that's a simple statement. And it's like, we can't deny that. Do you control if your eyes open tomorrow? No, you don't. But, excuse me, but you do control the choices you make after your eyes open. You do control the types of interactions you have with people. You do control how you affect people, how you are around people. You know what I mean? And so, once again, the fact that every single day is a microcosm of life. Every single day your eye opens, which you don't choose, you're born. And every single day you go to sleep, every single night, it's like birth, your eyes are open, and death. And the irony is, that's all life is. It's an interval between birth and death. It's a space. It's an interval. We only control what we do once our eyes open. What are you doing with that time? What's important to you? You know what I mean? Anyway, that's a whole nother channel. That's not even my that's not even my thing, but it's true. Cinematic says, so Dwayne, I don't know if you've seen it, but what are your thoughts on Avatar, The Way of Water? It only took 13 years after the first to come out. For me personally, I already knew that like the second one wasn't going to have the effect that the first one did. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it was interesting, to say the least. You know, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But it was interesting, to say the least. Interesting. I guess if you if you take a step back and talk about the fact that they had to adapt, you know, I mean, I guess there's a message within that, right? There's a lot of messages in there. So I guess from that perspective, it's good. Let me get some water. Let me get some water. You guys have any questions or concerns, slap them in the comment section. We got my boy John in here, says, hey Dwayne, I missed your last Monday night's live stream. I've added 2 cards over the last few months to my wallet. Chase Freedom Unlimited 1,000 and the City Custom Cash 6,900. First of all, incredible. Congratulations to you, my boy John. Thank you for taking the time to share that information. And I'm going to hit that horn for you, my brother. Yes, sir. Now, that's awesome, John. Very, very good, man. I know that's freaking exciting. I'm glad that Citibank rewarded you. I mean, Citibank is not necessarily super generous, but they gave you a nice little limit on that, and that's freaking awesome. Capital One also increased my credit limits from 1,500 or by 1,500. There we go, John. Let's go. That boy Trey. Trey says, I see that basketball though. You know what's funny is I haven't played basketball in a long time, and I think like when I was 33 was like one of the last times that I played ball, and I used to play basketball a lot. But I hurt my knee, and I knew in that moment like, yo, it's forever gonna be different. Never went to the doctor. Your boy was cheap, didn't have any insurance, so I never went to the doctor. Pretty sure something serious happened. But like, yeah, I had a little basketball workout. I was just out there shooting the ball myself, and obviously because I would not have my Apple Watch on during a game, right? And I'm 44, and I'm not out there playing no serious ball like that. I have nothing to prove. You know what I'm saying? I'm out there for the cardio. That's how you know when you're old, you know. And I'm not old, obviously. But that's, you know, like your focus shifts. Like, oh, you know, I'm just out there for the exercise. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be no professional. You know, I can't be. I'm just out there, you know, just to move my body. That boy Trey said, I see that basketball, though. That's funny. Cinnamon says, I heard what I thought was a super funny joke, and I promise it's not racist joke. So name a word that's a 6-letter word that starts with ends, and ends and with an R. It's a race. Answer, NASCAR. He's like, duh. That's funny. Definitely interesting, to say the least. Trey says, if you play basketball all day, trust me, you'll burn all the fat that you could ever get in a week. Yeah, if I play basketball all day, I'd have to be eating bananas and, you know, drinking salt water or something, because I definitely would get Charlie horses. I used to play basketball so much that, like, I remember there were times where I would jump in the air and I got Charlie horses in both of my calves before I got back to the ground. Man, it was good times though. I used to play ball all the time. Man, it was fun. Definitely fun. Nothing like those good old days when I used to be outside running around in the hot sun. Like, you know, now we're like, yo, you know, if we ever play ball, which my friends and I don't anymore, but if we did, one of the last times we did, I'm sure I was in my 30s, you know, like, we ain't gonna be out there at 12. You know what I mean? But like, yo, do they have lights at this place? You know, we playing early morning. Is it covered? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't do that anymore. Anthony says, let's go. That's amazing, man. Now you motivated me to do 4 to 5 miles next month. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, bro. Like, once again, one of the things, my secret weapon is I listen to this guy on Spotify. I found him on YouTube, but I'm gonna share him with you guys, and for the people that are into stuff like that or stuff like this, his name is Eddie Pinero. I'm gonna do a search on Spotify just so you can see, just so you can see his name. But this is his name, Eddie Pinero, and there we go on Spotify. You search Eddie Pinero, and he has a YouTube channel. You can search his name on YouTube as well. But I like listening to him. Okay, he has videos, and of course he's on Spotify, so you can just listen to it if you don't want to get on YouTube. But I like it because life changer. You know what I'm saying? I listen to it so much that at the start, when the music starts, I'm like, I already heard the speech. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know. Like, so he's really, really good. Really, really good. And like for me, I can listen to that all day, every day. I mean, the 18 miles you see on there, like, that took forever. But, you know, I had the time. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to rock it out. So, yeah, it's definitely good. I love walking. David, what's going on, my man? It's a pleasure having you back in the building. He says, I use tips from your channel and others to help me get to 29 credit cards, including 5 separate American Express Platinums, 2 regular, 3 separate business, and a business Centurion. Wow, incredible. David, thanks for stopping by. It's been a minute since I've seen you, man. Thank you for sharing that information as well. Speaking of sharing information, if you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, slap them into the chat. This is a live stream right now. We have 40 people, 40 thumbs up. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up, because I'm sure there's 1 or 2 or 3s or 10s out of there that hasn't, if you haven't smashed the thumbs up, consider smashing the thumbs up. I really appreciate the support. Cinemadness says, thoughts on that AMC credit card launching this year? Look, I have an AMC A-list, which is amazing service, but that credit card ain't it, chief. I did see something about the card. I mean, for me personally, I don't hit up the movies like that anymore. I mean, definitely something, hey, when I was 19, 18, boy, I went to the movies every single weekend with my friends. Like, that's what we did. Like, I had a buddy named Ivan. Actually, he's still a buddy. Ivan and Angelo. And it's funny, Ivan's actually from Mexico, and Angelo's black. The irony is he was born in Mexico. His parents are Jamaican. So we're like, bro, you're Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Like, and his name's Angelo, right? So like, obviously they were inspired. I guess his parents was in Mexico at the time. So yeah, he was born in Mexico. But yeah, Ivan, Angelo, and myself, we used to go to the movie theaters every single weekend. And we used to ride with Ivan. Ivan, I don't know why we rode with him. I mean, I know Angelo had a car. I'm sure I had a car at the time too. But Ivan had that sound system, so we used to pull up at the movie theaters listening to Tupac. That was our thing, and our song of choice, "Ambitions of a Rider." Ambitions of a Rider. This is funny if you're watching this and you don't know that song, but if you're bored and you want to get a taste of what your boy used to do, what I used to listen to, so like it's interesting, how like some songs like. It reminds you of a certain time period in your life. When I hear that song, in the beginning, and he's like, I won't deny it, I'm a straight rider, you don't want to with me. Anyway, Ambitions of a Rider was our song, man. I even had a nice sound system, and we blazed that every single time we rode up to the movies. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, I'm not really into that AMC card, but I did kind of read through it. I don't remember the details now. Of course, because, why would I? It says, one thing I've been wondering about lately was, I remember in late 2022, Apple announced they were rolling out a high-yield savings account, and nothing since has happened. Definitely, what's interesting about a lot of companies is the marketing aspect always kind of cracks me up. I love when companies are like, oh, we're going to do this, and this is way better, or we're going to do this, and this is going to be, a better way than we've done it in the past. And the reality is it's not a better way. And I'm like it's obvious. Like, I could see that this is not better. You know what I'm saying? But good old marketing. So, I don't know. Very interesting, to say the least. Speaking of interesting, comments, questions, concerns, slap them into the chat. I would love to answer any questions and comments that you guys may have. I appreciate you guys checking in here, even if it was for 2 seconds or so. Even if you're not used to this community and you, for some reason, stop by, I appreciate you. And certainly the ones that are a member of the community and have always been supporting, I appreciate you guys as well. I hope you guys, once again, your New Year's off to an incredible start. If I could, if I can say anything that you should take from this video and future videos that I will do, is that the small things are the big things. Okay, the small steps add up to the big steps. The small steps add up to the big things. The small things add up to the big things. So don't push to the side, something that's small because small things are insignificant. No, absolutely not. Small things are monumental, and details matter. Details matter, in anything that requires achieving at a high level, details matter. If you're an athlete, details matter. If you are a professional, details matter. So small things matter, small things matter. And in order for you to get to where you want to be, you should value today. You should value the day. You don't value tomorrow. You don't value next week. You don't value next month. You value what's right in front of you right now. And what are you doing right now in this moment to get you to where you're trying to go? You know what I mean? Because if you're not doing anything with the right now, you'll never get to where you're trying to go. I mean, it's simple as that. I remember one of the first times I lost a lot of weight. I was like 255 pounds. This is back in 2002, and my son was about to be born. And I remember stepping on the scale and I was 255 pounds. And I lost from 255, I got all the way down to like 178, which was redonkulous. But like 190, 195, you know. And I remember being so serious and like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to eat this. And I didn't have all the help I have now. I didn't have Spotify. I didn't have all this motivational mindset stuff. This is in 2002. You know, YouTube just came around. Just was born in '02. Whenever YouTube started, you know what I mean? I didn't have all those tools. I just had my determination. And imagine, in 2002, I didn't really value how powerful today is. I mean, I guess inadvertently I did, but like now how I'm sitting here and telling you guys that every single day matters. When I see the sun rise, I smile. I ask myself, am I a sunrise guy or am I a sunset guy? And of course, there's beauty in both, right? Obviously. The colors in the sunset, come on, can't beat that. You can't get those colors in the sunrise, you know what I mean? But the sunrise makes me smile, you know? And like I said, it's a brand new day. So yeah, I mean, I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your week. Of course, I'll be back on here at some point. Let me jump in here and make sure I answer you guys' questions. So Amanda says, another thing was announced. Wells Fargo said in 2022 that they would roll out the new slate of cards, and only two came out last year, the autograph and the active cash. And both of those cards are solid. Wells Fargo did a really good job with those two. So maybe they just felt like they knocked it out the park. You know, they don't need no more cards. Arno says Navy Federal, easy start, 4.26 for 12 months, October 15th, 2024. Sheesh, that's great. You know what I'm saying? 4% is really good. As a matter of fact, I'm like, yo, I want to look that up because I wonder what like the limits are as far as like, you know, how much money you can invest, right? Because like they're not gonna let people with $1 million invest in that account and give them 4% back on that because that's $40,000. You know what I mean? Very interesting. What is it? Easy start. Learn how to spell and type. Oh, it's a certificate from Navy Federal. Okay. Interesting. Okay, 6 to 24 months, as high as 8.50%. Okay, so it's like a CD. Let me share my screen with you guys so you see what I'm looking at. So you can see here is Easy Start certificate with Navy Federal. Then they're talking about minimum deposit, $50, and then APY as high as 4.85. And then of course this is where they tell you basically, you know, no maximum purchase, 12 months, and you get 4.35%. And there's more information on here. So the maximum purchase is $3,000. Okay, that's pretty neat, man. Thank you for dropping that in there, Arno. I appreciate you, bro. You know, it's actually super interesting because, you know, depending on where you are in your life, you're like, man, $3,000 is too much money. And then somebody else might be like, man, $3,000 is nothing. I want to encourage you guys, if you're trying to change your financial situation, be aggressive. Be aggressive, you know. 10 years ago, I'm sure when I was 34, I thought I was working hard, you know, but I now know I wasn't, you know. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, be aggressive. Be relentless. Like, attack that thing like crazy. And it's very interesting because, like, you can stress yourself out by being aggressive or by working so much. But you got to be aware. You have to listen to your body. And this is a season of work. This is the time to work. I'm 44 and I'm saying this is the time to work. You know what I mean? Because when I'm 64, I'm not going to be working that hard. When I'm 74, I'm obviously not going to be working that hard. When I'm 84, so this is a season to work. We got to work. You got to work. You want something to be different, you want more, then put in more. Find a way to make extra money. And living in the United States, we have countless ways to make extra money. Countless. Trust me when I tell you countless. It kills me how people cannot wrap their mind around that. Imagine you live in a place that has a bunch of land, nature, whatever you want to call it. They don't have warehouses. They don't have infrastructure. Where are the opportunities in those places? If you live in a place that don't have warehouses the way we do, we have warehouses everywhere, especially here in Texas, warehouses everywhere. There's opportunities everywhere. You know what I mean? And a lot of it has to do with, oh, I'm not comfortable doing that. Well, then you're not comfortable changing your situation. You're not working hard. Just like the 34-year-old me, I wasn't working hard. Did I think I was? Absolutely. Right? So it's tricky. You got to be super aggressive, but you also got to be healthy. You also got to know your body. You also got to listen to your body. You also got to take it easy. But at the same time, this is the season of work. We got to work. You know what I'm saying? You got to. Even if you're working just to save money, to travel and to have experience and have perspective and have memories and have moments, that is still worth it to me than to not work and not travel and not be exposed and not have experiences and not have memories. Even if you're working hard and extra just to create memories, I think that's still worth it. Now, you get to the point where you have 20, 30, 50 trips. 50 trips is a lot. Can I keep in my brain all 50 trips? Can all 50 trips be as valuable as 5 trips? I don't think so. But, and then we come back to balancing. Life is about balancing. And good luck figuring that one out, because it's not something that you ever figure out and you're like, yep, done, got the balance thing done. What's the next thing? Because life doesn't work that way. When you balance it, then everything has to be recalibrated and refigured. And hey, before you know it, you're trying to learn how to balance that. But you definitely got to be aggressive. I want to encourage you guys to be aggressive. Phyllis, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a minute. Says good evening. Dwayne and chat, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Phyllis. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's a pleasure to have you in the building. Arnold says, and the Amex high yield savings, both are pretty good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man. Ulysses says, great live stream. I will see you on the next live stream. Bye for now. All right, bro. Have a good one, my brother. It's a pleasure to have you in the building. Cinnamon says, how's your Apple and Tesla doing, by the way, as well as the rest of your portfolio in 2023? My portfolio is insanely horrendous. Down, baby. Your street in a Range Rover. It's a song. Okay, forgive me, but it's bad, bro. It's beyond bad. Okay, we're not even going to put a figure out there. It's very bad, and I still have my positions. So it's bad. Blake, what's going on, my man? Blake says, what's the best way to get a credit limit increase with Capital One? The best way to get a credit limit increase with Capital One is the current card that you currently have. Use it a lot. Use it as much as possible. If you can spend as close as possible to whatever the credit limit is, do that. Now, of course, you want to pay it off, but if the credit limit is like $1,000, use up to $800, $900. Now, your credit score is going to be horrible when you use $900 out of $1,000 credit limit. But this is definitely a way for them to see, okay, this guy may need some more available credit. Capital One is not insanely generous when it comes to credit card limits anyway, but that's one of the ways you can improve. You can get a higher limit credit card. Dave Sincere, what's going on, my bro? He says, what's going on? It's been a minute since I was able to join one of your lives. Man, it's a pleasure to see you. Same profile picture. Appreciate you, my man. Happy New Year to you, my brother. Blake says, what are your thoughts on Cabo Credit? Is it worth it to build my credit? I don't know anything about Cabo Credit. I'm going to look it up real quick. I think as long as it makes sense to you, it can and should make sense. Now, of course, you have Self. Self is a good one out there that you could use as well. Of course, Chime is another good one that you can use. Those two are more known. I mean, easily you can go with one of those. Cabo Credit says, build credit and earn rewards. No credit check, instant approval. 0 APR fees, or APR, 0% APR, 1% on loans. Give yourself the credit you deserve. Sorry, I'm reading it here. I guess they report to the 3 bureaus, or they have 3 bureaus here on the site. The site looks good. I mean, it looks like a legitimate site. Like, I like it. It's clean. Then, of course, there's questions here you can answer, like frequently asked question, which is pretty cool. How does credit building work? And, of course, there's they talk about build with installment payment, $10 a month over 24 months. It's okay. It's okay. Instead of doing this, I mean, I would consider doing, like Chime or Self-Lender, or, any kind of secured credit cards that promote, right? Like Bank of America has a secured credit card. Discover has a secured credit card. I would go that route more so than this. You can do both if you want, because it definitely won't help. Definitely won't hurt. It definitely won't help. Oh Lord. Oh man. But yeah, I think it's okay. You know what I mean? If you can commit to making the $10 payments for 24 months, which is pretty simple. Once again, I talked a little bit about this in the beginning of the video. You have a great tool here, and you use your calendar with your phone, and you shouldn't be late for anything. You know what I mean? You should set multiple reminders if you have to for the same thing so that you're not late. So I think it could be cool. Arnold says Amex is my everyday card for any occasion. Cinnamana says I've been enjoying the more frequent uploads on my investment journey. I appreciate you, bro. Definitely. Like I said, there's a lot going on. I mean, there's stuff going on that I haven't talked about, and of course, there's stuff going on that I won't talk about. So it's all good. I'm healthy. Life is good. Life is incredible. I'm positive. I'm gonna see it that way, despite whatever's going on. Okay, and that's just what it is. That's where I'm at. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it on up. I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your day, an incredible rest of your week. Happy New Year to you guys for the ones that are seeing me for the first time. Everybody on this channel, obviously. I hope that you guys are aggressive in the things that you want to accomplish, because that's the only way we're going to accomplish them. You know what I mean? You got to be aggressive. You got to value every single day, and you have to take steps. Of course, I'm not perfect every day. I'm not telling you, you got to be perfect every day. No. Obviously, we won't be, but I know that tomorrow's a brand new day. Tomorrow is not an extension of today, okay? Every single day is not a continuation of yesterday's, last week's, last month's. I know we want to feel like it's a continuation, but the reality is it's not. The reality is your future starts right now. Your future starts today. And when you fall off the horse or you misstep or whatever, forget about it. It's like the pros, right? When you playing basketball and you miss a shot, you don't keep thinking about the shot you missed, because you still got to shoot more shots, right? Baseball, you don't think about your strikeouts, because you're still gonna have to get up to the plate and bat. Tennis, the ball didn't go over the net, or the ball went out of bounds. You make the adjustment and you keep moving. You don't labor over what you didn't do or what you didn't do well. you just keep pushing. You make adjustments and you keep pushing, and that's the same thing in life. Anyway, that's enough of that. I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your day. Cinemadness, there will not be a members only live stream, my brother. I hope you guys have a good week as well, and I will see you guys on the next one. Trey says, this was an enjoyable stream and positive. Thanks for the stream and the vibes. Trey, it's a pleasure to see you, my brother. Like I said, I know I haven't seen you before, unless you're some other Trey, but I don't think you're him. So it's a pleasure to have you in the building. Thanks for the positivity, my man. And, I'll be back on here again. Normally Mondays, 7 o'clock Central Time. I'm laughing just because I haven't been on here on Mondays at 7 p.m. in a while, but that's normally when the streams are supposed to happen. Anyway, I hope you guys have an incredible day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, once again, my name is Dwayne with How to Build Credit TV, and I approve this video. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.